Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Fiona, your English coach. Today, we are tackling the two biggest, most frustrating walls that almost every English learner hits. First, does this sound familiar? You're watching a movie, a YouTube video, or trying to chat with a native speaker, and you feel like their words are just zipping by too fast. You hear sounds, but they all blur together. By the time you think you've understood something, the conversation has already moved on. And then there's the second problem. It's your turn to speak. You know exactly what you want to say, but the words just don't come out fast enough. You pause, you, you search for the right word, and by the time you think of it, the moment is gone. It's frustrating, right? You're not alone. Here's the truth. These two problems, not understanding fast speech and not speaking fast enough, are actually two sides of the same coin. You cannot speak fast if you cannot think fast, and you cannot think fast in English if your input, your listening, is still getting stuck. In today's masterclass, we are going to fix both. We will unlock your ears to understand native English at its real speed, and we will retrain your brain to think directly in English so you can speak smartly, confidently, and naturally. Are you ready? Grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's get started. Part 1, why are you stuck? Before we can learn how to fix this, we need to understand why it's so difficult. Why does your brain freeze in real conversations? It's not just about speed. It's because the English you learned in textbooks is completely different from the English used in real life. There are three main reasons you feel stuck. Reason 1, your brain is still translating. This is fluency's number one enemy. When you listen, your brain is doing extra work. It hears English, translates it to your native language, and then you understand. When you speak, it's even worse. You think in your native language, translate it to English, and then you speak. This process is slow. Your brain is doing double the work. Reason 2, the fear of making mistakes. As you start to speak, you worry. What if I say something wrong? What if people don't understand me? This fear stops your brain from working naturally. It's like trying to drive fast while pressing the brake at the same time. Reason 3, the truth about connected speech. This is the biggest reason you can't understand fast speakers. Native speakers don't speak word by word. They link or squish words together. For example, in a textbook you learn, "What are you doing?" In real life you hear, "What you doing?" In a textbook you learn, "I am going to." In real life you hear, "I'm gonna." In a textbook you learn, "Did you eat already?" In real life you hear, "Did you eat already?" Your brain is trained to listen for did and you, but when it hears did you, it doesn't recognize the pattern. So, what's the solution? We have to retrain our brains, and we must start with our input. And those are the three major fluency blocks. Now, what's the good news? They are not permanent walls. They are just old habits, and we are here to break them. But we have to start at the root. You cannot speak well if you cannot listen well. So, before we train our mouths, we must unlock our ears. Are you ready to finally start hearing and understanding native speed English not as noise, but as clear, understandable ideas? Let's dive into part 2, the Input Masterclass. Input Masterclass, 5 strategies to unlock your ears. To speak fast, you must first hear fast. Your ears need to be trained. Here are 5 practical strategies to train your ears to understand real-world, native speed English. Strategy 1, shift from translating to visualizing. This is a major mindset shift. Stop trying to translate every single word you hear. Instead, try to picture it. If you hear someone say, "We grabbed some coffee and headed downtown," don't get stuck on grabbed or headed. Instead, create a mental movie. Picture 2 friends getting coffee and walking into a city. This is how native speakers process language. They process ideas and pictures, not translations. Let's try a quick practice. Close your eyes and just listen. Visualize this scene. She ran out of the house, jumped into the car, and drove off without saying a word. Did you see it in your mind? You didn't need to understand every syllable. You understood the meaning because you connected it to a picture. Strategy 2, dictation practice. This is the gym workout for your ears. It's tough, but it's incredibly effective. Here's how. Play a short audio clip, just 1 or 2 sentences. Listen carefully and try to write down exactly what you hear. Listen again, 2 or 3 times, and fill in the missing parts. Finally, compare what you wrote with the transcript or subtitles. This exercise forces your ear to notice the small, connected, and reduced words, like to, of, and that often disappear in fast speech. Strategy 3. Listen for chunks, not words. Fluent speakers don't speak word by word. They speak in chunks, or groups of words. Your brain should be trained to hear, "How are you?" as one sound. "How are ya?" Not 3 separate words. "Do you want to go?" becomes one sound. "Do you want to go?" How do you train this? By listening to common repeated phrases in real contexts, which brings us to Strategy 4, the shadowing method, the bridge. This is my favorite strategy because it perfectly bridges input listening and output speaking. Shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and you speak at the exact same time, copying their words, tone, and rhythm, just like a shadow. A great way to practice this is with a movie or TV show. Watch a short scene with English subtitles. Listen again, but this time pause after every sentence. Repeat the sentence out loud, trying to copy the emotion, speed, and tone, not just the words. It feels hard at first, but even 5 minutes a day trains your mouth and brain to move together just like native speakers do. Strategy 5, diversify your input. You must train your brain to be flexible. Don't only listen to one accent. Expose yourself to as many as possible. American, British, Australian, and more. And use context. If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. Your brain already expects to hear words like cut, boil, and add, so it's much easier to follow along even when the speaker is fast. And just with those 5 strategies, your listening ability will change forever. But remember that second wall, that feeling of knowing what you want to say, but the words just don't come out fast enough? You can be the best listener in the world, but if you are still thinking in your native language, you will always feel one step behind in a conversation. So, how do we fix the freezing brain? How do we break the translation habit and finally train our minds to think directly in English? This next part is the key. Let's move on to part 3, the output masterclass. Part 3, output masterclass. 4 principles to think fast and speak smart. Okay, our ears are unlocked. Now, how do we fix the freezing brain when it's our turn to speak? How do we actually think in English? Principle 1, stop translating. Start thinking in pictures. We talked about hearing in pictures. Now we will think in pictures. When you hear or read the word apple, do not think of the word in your native language. Picture the red fruit. When you hear happy, picture someone smiling. This is how you break the translation habit. You build a direct connection between the English word and the meaning. Principle 2, change your environment and your internal monologue. You must make English a natural part of your daily life. Internal monologue. Start thinking to yourself in English. When you wake up, think, what should I eat today? When you're outside, the weather is nice. Talk to yourself in English. Device settings. Change your phone and computer settings to English. Daily tasks. Write your shopping list or your daily journal in English. These small changes force your brain to see English as a tool you use daily, not just a school subject. Principle 3, the 1-minute speaking challenge. This is a powerful drill for building speed. Set a timer for 1 minute. Choose a simple topic, e.g., my favorite food, what I did yesterday. Start speaking and do not stop for the full minute. Crucially, do not worry about grammar or mistakes. The only goal is to keep your brain thinking in English and keep your mouth moving. This builds speed, confidence, and flow. Principle 4, how to speak smart, not just fast. You're thinking faster. Now, how do you sound confident and intelligent? Use pauses. This is the secret to confidence. Many learners think they must speak very fast. That's wrong. Fluent speakers use pauses to think and to let the listener understand. A short 1 to 2-second pause is perfectly okay. Don't be afraid of silence. Keep your sentences short and simple. You don't need long, complicated sentences to sound smart. Short sentences are clearer and more powerful. Instead of saying, I would have gone to the party if I had known about it earlier, just say, I didn't know about the party, so I didn't go. Both mean the same, but the second one is faster and clearer. Use simple linking words. Use small words to connect your simple ideas. So, because, then, actually, for example. Example. I didn't go out yesterday because it was raining, so I stayed home and watched a movie. Sounds natural, right? Focus on ideas, not perfect grammar. When you are in a conversation, your goal is to communicate your message, not to be perfect. Even native speakers make small mistakes. Instead of thinking, is this sentence correct? Ask yourself, will the listener understand me? So now you have everything. You have the strategies for your ears, input, and the principles for your brain, output. You are motivated and ready to practice. But wait, I need you to succeed long term. So many motivated learners start exactly like this, but they give up after a few weeks. Why? Because they fall into 3 very common, very subtle traps. In this next part, I am going to show you exactly what those traps are so you can avoid them and keep moving forward. Don't skip this. Let's go to part 4, common mistakes to avoid. Part 4, common mistakes to avoid. Finally, let's talk about the common traps you need to avoid on this journey. Mistake 1, trying to speak too fast. Remember, fast does not always mean fluent. If you speak too quickly without control, you'll make more mistakes and be harder to understand. It's better to speak a little slower, but clearly and confidently. Mistake 2, memorizing instead of practicing. Some learners only memorize lists of vocabulary, but fluency comes from using English, speaking, listening, and reacting in real situations. Mistake 3, ignoring listening and pronunciation. Speaking well starts with listening well. If you don't listen enough, your brain won't recognize the natural patterns of English, and your own speaking will sound unnatural. And just like that, you've made it through the entire masterclass. You understand the why you were stuck. You have the how for your listening. You have the how for your speaking, and you know the traps to avoid. Now for the most important part, putting it all together. Let's do a quick review of the key takeaways. And I want to leave you with one final crucial piece of motivation to keep you going on this journey. Let's wrap this up in part 5, your masterclass review and final motivation. And part 5, your masterclass review and conclusion. All right, that was a lot. Let's quickly review the key takeaways. To understand fast English. Visualize, don't translate. Connect words to pictures. Practice dictation to catch the small, hidden words. Shadow native speakers to learn their rhythm and flow. To speak, Smart and fast. Think in pictures and use an internal English monologue. Use the 1-minute challenge to build speed. Use pauses, keep sentences simple, and focus on communication, not perfection. And the most important thing I want you to remember is this: be patient. Learning to think fast and speak smart in English takes time, patience, and practice. You don't need to be perfect. You might not see the progress every day, but every sentence you speak, every word you learn, every minute you listen, it all adds up. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's about confidence, communication, and connection. Thank you so much for spending your time and learning with me today. If you enjoyed this masterclass, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future episodes. I'm Fiona. Keep practicing, stay positive, and speak smart. I'll see you in the next episode.